What you're going to need for this project is some steel wool. This is 00. I used Krylon chalkboard paint. I don't think a shiny paint would look very good, but a flat paint, probably of any color, will look cool. I have a tape runner, a bag of leaves, a roll of Reynolds wrap. I got the heavy duty, so it's a little harder to tear. And then I have a piece of birch plywood. It's about 11.5 by 11.5, which is really cool because it will probably fit in a 12 by 12 frame pretty well. So those are the supplies you need. Let's get started. You're going to start with your piece of birch plywood and your leaves. And these I picked yesterday before it started raining, thank goodness, and they are just fine after being in the bag overnight. You might also want to have a pair of scissors on hand in case you want to cut some really thick stems off. So the deal here is to create an arrangement with the leaves that you like. See how this stem is a little thick on the end? I'm going to take that off because it can cause the foil to rip later. And let's see, we need a maple leaf because, hey, I'm in Ohio and maple leaves are everywhere. And then just keep fiddling with it until you get an arrangement that you like. Okay, I have the leaves in the arrangement that I like, and I'm just going to tape them down a little bit with this tape runner. You just need a tiny piece, just something to keep them in place while you're working. You don't want to use a tape that's really thick or heavy because it'll show through your finished project. So let's get all these taped on. And notice I'm putting the tape on the board from this tape runner. That's because I found out that the tape runner will actually tear the leaf if you try to put the tape on the back of the leaf. Go figure. All right, I've torn off a piece of the heavy-duty aluminum foil, and I'm just going to spread it on the face of my piece of plywood. And I need to scooch up a little bit. Start from the center and start smoothing out. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth. This will smooth out more and more as we're playing with it. Okay, so then you're going to start in the center and start taking your fingers, just the tip of your fingers. If you have long nails, this might be a little tricky for you. And we're just going to start burnishing a little bit, moving our way out. You'll start to find the leaves here. And then I'm going to put a piece of this tape runner at the corners just to hold that foil in place once I get it, started to smooth out. Again, you don't want to put too much tape on, and you don't want to put a thick amount on because it will show through. So this is what we have right now, and this is a good time to put on a show and watch some Netflix or something, because you're going to sit and burnish all of these leaves so that all of the veins stand out. If you do have long fingernails, you might try putting on like a mitten or wrapping some fabric around your finger. That will help smooth it out. And the more you can get those veins to stand out and the edges of the leaf, the better off you are. Okay, so I'm just going to keep working here. Now that I have this burned some and the foil tightened, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and bring that foil around. And just like you're wrapping a package, be careful on the corners here because it can tear. Fold this in, and if it does tear, it's okay on the corners because we're just going to cover this with the paint anyway. So if it's a little tear on the corner, wow, I can't talk, it's going to be all right. And then we're going to turn it back over and continue burnishing. Okay, so this is pretty well burnished down. You'll want to be careful if you have a leaf with thicker stems, because if you burnish really hard around that really thick part, it tends to want to tear. You don't have to worry about the edges or even the open spaces. Just where the leaves are, you want to burnish. And now I'm going to take it outside and give it a quick coat of this Krylon chalkboard paint. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and this is pretty well dry. There's a little bit of a damp spot here, but we're not going to mess with that. You can still see the burnished bits underneath the black chalkboard paint. And we're going to take a piece of our steel wool. Now remember, this is grade 00. You can use stuff that's a little, I don't know, what do you say, more abrasive, but then you have to be really careful that your foil doesn't tear or that you're not taking off too much. So we're just going to slowly go over the leaf that we have embossed or burnished, which is embossing, whatever, and bring out that silver from underneath this flat black paint. I finished rubbing off the black paint that I want. This is sort of a cross between like a leaf rubbing and scratch art, sort of. So I really like the way this is finished. I'm going to go ahead and scratch a little bit around the rest of the piece here, just so that the back is the same as some of the leaves, just to even it out. I had several friends over last night and we made these, so you saw me sort of turning the wool around, steel wool around a little bit to get to some abrasive bits, and that's cool. In a couple of places, let me see if I can find them again. Like right here, I don't know if you can see it, my tape shows through just a tiny bit. So if that's going to bother you, you might want to try a glue stick instead of the piece of tape. This leaf did the same thing. And I don't mind it, it just kind of blends in with the background. And so that's it. It's great for this time of year, early in the fall, when the leaves really haven't changed and you can't do leaf art with colored leaves. You can still do them with leaves that are really green and have a bit of the handmade in your fall decor. I really hope you liked this project, and if you did, I hope that you'll give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe so that you can get an email that lets you know when I have uploaded a new video. And thank you for watching, and I'll be back. Bye.